Good evening, everybody. It is 3:48, May 4th. I want to do a read from Matthew's chapter 13, the parable of the seeds. So it'll help some people to understand the times that we're in. Now, the reason why for the seeds is because it tells you what type of ground these people are in. You know, are they on thorny ground, stony ground? Is that their seeds take root? Because remember, it says many were called, but few were chosen. Okay, this is the harvest. Okay, I've been meeting people who say they know we're in the last days. I've met a lot of people like that. Oh yeah, I know I'm in the last days. But it's been like this since I was a kid. For the last 50 years, it's been like the last days. They've always said that. You know, this is what I've been hearing a lot. A lot of that. Okay? Clearly, if you knew you were in the last days right now, I wouldn't have to convince you nothing. Now, I've talked to people that said they knew they were in the last days. I just met some people, okay, in Knoxville, Tennessee. Okay, just recently, I just met two brothers. Nice guys, nice people you'll ever meet. Then I was witnessing to them. I said, you know we're in the last days. They said, yeah, they knew. But then it's always been this way, even since they were younger. Now, they're in their 70s now. Early 70s, maybe early 70s. But anyhow, they're in their early 70s. Now, I took and asked them, you know, are they aware of what's going on, how close we are? And I asked them certain Bible verses, you know, about what they're seeing and stuff. And they didn't even know any Bible verses. None. They didn't even know anything I asked them about the Bible. But they said it's been in the last days even since they were younger. And when I told them, I said, this homosexual agenda, legalizing it, you know, Obama spending all this money, and, you know, having a president named Trump and a vice president named Pence. Spiritual battle, warfare, you know, where it says we wrestle not with flesh and blood in Ephesians. They didn't know where that was. So I knew that they didn't know we were in the last days. I knew it because to them, we've always been in the last days. In other words, they're seeing the signs, but they're just not paying any attention. He said he had 66 vehicles destroyed by hail, large hail. And I guess last year, a lot of real large hail literally beat all the cars up really bad, busted all the windows out, destroyed them. And he said there was nothing he could do about it, not a thing. He goes, we had to sit here and watch it. And I told him, I said, the hail was a pretty good size. He goes, oh, yeah, I've never seen it that big before in my life. And since their lifetime. And I said, 66, do you realize that's God showing you 66 chapters in the Holy Bible? And I said, there's nothing you could do about it. There's nothing you could do about what's happening now. But I said, many are called, few are chosen. Now, why are few chosen? Because when they were called, they didn't answer. Now, listen, I went out and bought a Bible right away because I knew what time it was. And I went out and got a Bible and I started reading about end times. When I mentioned to them about the homosexual lifestyle, it got legalized. Well, they've always been around. That's the way they see it. They've always been around. Just because it's legalized, it doesn't mean nothing, you know? Well, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is where the sowing of the seeds comes in. This is where you know who's who, you know? Because if they don't know, you know, if they're not taking root right now, if they're not fully 100% knowing what time it is right now, there's a lot of people say, oh, we've been in the last days since Christ was here. You know? Listen. And when, behold, a sower went forth to sow. This is 3, okay? And he spoke many things unto them in parables, saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. The fowls, the birds and stuff just came and ate it up. In other words, it didn't fall in good soil. And this is where you look at how people are today. Okay, are they awake? You know, if they're not awake, it's the soil's horrible. Okay, some fell on stony places where they had not much earth. Okay, forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth. So in other words, some people can kind of see what's going on, but it didn't take no root. Either way, it didn't take no root. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, because they had no root. They withered away. Some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them out. In other words, you know, people still worldly. If you're still of the world, love the world, and you're seeing what's going on, but you love what's in this world more, these are like thorns that'll choke it out. It'll choke the word right out of you, and you won't see it. You won't even hear his calling because of it. But others fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. In other words, we got some people that are more awake than others, you know, and just depending on what they're seeing. Yeah, I've seen things while I was wide awake. I've been seeing and hearing dreams for 3.5 years, dreams. But I've seen things while I was wide awake too. I've got photos to show of stuff that a photo I didn't see, that angel blowing that trumpet. Who has ears to hear, let him hear. This is when the disciples came up to him to ask him about the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. And he said to them, it is not given, for whosoever has, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever has not, from him shall be taken away. Even that he has. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see and see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of the Isaiah, which says, by hearing you shall hear and shall not understand, seeing and you shall see and not perceive. For this people's hearts are waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing. Their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears. See, we're seeing, we're hearing, all right? We're wide awake, where many people are like, oh yeah, it's always been this way. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. Anyone that heareth the word of the kingdom, and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into the stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy received it. Yet he has not root in himself, but dureth for a while. And when tribulation and persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that received seed among the thorns is that heareth the word, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choked the word, and he became unfruitful. But he that received seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, and some 60, and some 30. You know, and then it goes on about the parables of the tares. Okay? In other words, there's a lot of tares in this wheat, you guys. This is the time where you got to be awake. Okay? This is the time. Very few people are truly, really awake. That's why these things are getting ready to come about. And when they come, maybe some of these people might wake up. Maybe. Yeah, just depending on how tightly they're holding on to this. But I've seen very few people escaping this. That's what I've seen. Very few. Because they love not the truth, you know. They keep listening to the tares. The tares keep choking the word out. You know, that's what's going on, you guys. Be careful. I hope and pray that you guys got something out of this message. You'll know who's who, and you know what kind of ground it's on. If they're not fully awake, and they say they are, but yet it's always been this way, you know, well, then they don't truly see what's going on. Their eyes aren't awake. God bless you guys. I hope and pray each and every one of you's got something from this message. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.